Good morning, everybody. Welcome to My Creative Time with Emma, and also welcome to another Gypsy How-To video, and I believe this is video number 5. Okay, for today's video we are going to be working with the size button shown right here, the little keypad button, and we're also going to be working with a few features on the Advanced tab button. Let's go ahead and go to our help, and I'm going to show you the ones we're going to be working with today. Okay, we're going to be working with the kerning button, the rotate button, the slant, the weld, and the preview button. Let's see if we could get through all of these in this video. I only have 15 minutes here. If not, I'll go ahead and split it up into 2. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with this little button here. This is your, it's called the size button, and I always call it the hourglass figure. And what it is, saying for example, if you want to go to your keypad, which is right here, that's your keypad, and if you want to click on, let's go ahead and click on this flower here from Winter Woodland, and click on your keypad. And you know how when you click on your keypad, the image always comes out small on your mat at first. But if you hit this button here, it will make it bigger. Okay? That's how that works there. Or, let's go ahead and erase that. Let's delete it using our little X button. If you know you want your image to come out bigger on your mat, use that button, your sizing button, to make it big already. Okay? So let's go ahead and have it set at 6.06 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my keypad, and let's go ahead and get that flower again. Okay? Okay, now it looks like this flower was clearly a layer feature, meaning that, you know how I did my size right here all the way up to 6 inches? Now clearly that's a layer feature, meaning that it's going to come out smaller. Remember how I showed you on that last video? This here is your true real dial size. So if you click on that, the real dial size for this is actually 2.79, okay? So now if you want to click on your height, you want to adjust it, we're going to use our 10, this is your little 10 key button here. If you click on your 10 key, we're going to change that to 6 inches. And there you go. Now it's 6 inches, okay? So now you could know the difference. This is the little, like I'll still call it the hourglass button, even though it is called the size button. Okay, so that's how your size button works, alright? Now let's go ahead and move on to our kerning feature. Let's go ahead and delete that. And now what I want to do, let me make my cursor a little bit small. Let's make my cursor 4 inches, okay? And we're going to click on our keypad, and I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and just do my name, okay? We're going to use that as an example. Okay, there we go. Let me make it just a touch. See now how, you see how I typed it all in one? It's already grouped together, so now I want to make it a little bit smaller. So instead of clicking on each individual letter, if you have them all grouped together, you could go ahead and use the size button, and it'll make, you see how it made it all, you can either make it all bigger at once or all smaller at once, and I love that. Okay, so now this is your kerning feature right there, that very top one that says, and this is, by the way, on your Advanced tab. And it is the kerning feature, which is the one that says K and then like a little underscore E. If you click on that, you're going to use down here the little arrows. Now these are your nudge buttons right here. This to the right are your small nudge. And these are your large nudge. For example, if you want the words to be more spread out, you could go ahead and click on the large nudge. You see how they're moving apart from each other? See how they're moving apart? Okay, and they're moving apart at a greater distance. Now, if you click on the small nudge, they're barely moving. They're hardly moving. They're moving really, really small in really tiny increments, okay? Now, if you want them pushed together, and this is what I use a lot as a welding feature, so I click on the ones at the bottom. You see how they're coming together a little bit quicker? Now, if I click on the small nudge, it's only, if you just want it to move just a teeny bit, that's the one you're going to click on. But if not, I always use the large nudge. And this is what I use a lot for welding. A lot of people have questions on welding, and if you're not sure, use that button and it'll weld it all together perfectly. So if I go ahead and zoom in on this, you see how they're overlapping each other just a tad. And this one here, see now, see right there how it's overlapping? Now we could easily weld that together and it's perfect. Now if you're like me, I like to sometimes have my my letters kind of little off. I don't like it like totally completely even. So sometimes what I do is I click on one letter, and you see now here goes our next feature here. This is your slant button right here, which I always call the turnaround feature. So if you click on your little slant button, and if you click on right here, this little button here, you saw how it moved like to the left. I like to do my letters like that sometimes, but when you do it that way, you click on each individual letter. Okay, then click on your slant button again, and then now I'll use the bottom one for it to go the opposite direction. And I'll click on the third letter, click on my slant again, and make it go to the left. And then click on my last letter, click on my slant, and make this one here go to the right. See, you can make your letters fun, however you like. That's the way I like to do mine most of the time. So anyways, that's your kerning and did I say slant earlier? I'm sorry, your kerning feature and this is called a rotate button. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I just said slant button, but the middle one is your rotate button, and that's the one that I always call my turnaround feature, only because it looks like it's turning around. So anyways, so your kerning, your rotate, and now we're going to do the slant, okay? So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and erase all of these right here, and I'm going to go ahead and do my name once again. Let's go ahead. I love this font. Pretty font, by the way, on Winter Woodland. Okay, so I'm going to scooch this on to the center, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and kern these together once again. Just a little bit, not too much. Now we're going to use our slant button, okay? Now this slant button, what you want to do, you see these two arrows, if you want to slant them to the right, you see how it looks like they're like going to the right. Isn't that cool? So you can slant them to the right, or if you want to slant them to the left, like they're leaning over to the left. That's what that feature is, okay? But sometimes I use this slant button right there. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so that's that feature right there. Now, we could go ahead and leave our letters like this, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and do some welding right there. Okay, but we need to move our letters together just a tad more in order for them to weld together. So we're going to click on our kerning feature, and we're going to go ahead and get these together just a little bit more, okay? Okay, what I did, since my E was too far away, since I did the slant feature, I just clicked on the E by itself, and I clicked on my little arrows, and I moved it closer to the M, okay? The only reason why it was far away is because I did the slant feature. If I would have just kept them straight up and down and used the kerning button, it would have just done it perfectly. But I wanted to weld it with it slanted, okay? So now that we have that all together, and I'm going to quickly show you it right here. You see how they are all overlapping each other? They're kind of overlapping each other just a tad. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my weld feature. Now just whatever you do, make sure the items you want welded, you make sure they're all in blue, which means they have to be grouped together, okay? click on your little welding button there, and then we're going to preview it. Okay, and when I say, this is what I call our eyeball button, and when you eyeball it, you see how it's gray in between? That means they're all going to be cut out in one piece. And I love, look at that, isn't that pretty? I love this font. Okay, so anyways, that's your welding feature and your preview feature. Okay, now let's go ahead and zoom back out. And then now, what we are going to do, we're going to use this feature here. This is your copy feature, okay? So now, after you're done welding it, you won't be able to do anything on your page until you un-eyeball that, or turn off your preview button, I should say, okay? So you want to move that up, all right? And now what we want to do, we want to use our copy feature, which is right here. So we're going to click on our copy feature. Say, for example, if I want to cut something out a few times, like I had a class over the weekend, and I needed to cut something out a few times. So what you want to do is just use this copy feature and then bring it down. And you'll be able to go ahead and get 3 of these on a page. Okay, that's your copy feature. All right. So what we are going to do, let's go ahead and get all of this erased. And if I want this all to be erased all at once, I could go ahead and group everything together. Okay, I went ahead and I used my group feature and I clicked on everything until it was blue, and then now we're going to erase it. Okay, so that's your little erasing, and if you want everything gone all at once. All right, so now what we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and click on our keypad. And then we are going to look for, let's go ahead and look for something that has a face on it. How about that? Which I believe this one does here. This little snowman. Okay, so now on this snowman here, we're going to go ahead and click on Hide Contour. You see how he has the little eyes? Now, you know I want to hide those because I want to use a peachy keen face with that. So what you want to do, you could use this button right here to kind of scroll through everything, and whatever turns red is what you're going to want to erase. Okay, so now one of the little slants on the eyes, we're going to hide that, and then we're going to click on this bottom. So can you see that, the bottom silver button? Click on that, and you're going to hide. This is to hide all of the little eyes, or you could click on next. I want to hide it. You see how there's no more eyeballs now, so we're going to click on OK. And if we go ahead and zoom in, let me zoom in for you. You see how you zoom in and you'll be able to see the eyes very lightly gray. That means that they are hidden, that you'll be able to use a peachy keen face with that. Okay, so that's all the features for today, everybody. I hope that helped you out just a tad. And I will have another video up for you very soon. Okay, have a great day, and I will see you back here later. Bye-bye.